Innovation and Tech Talks with Paul and Ants.
3, 2, 1. Another unnecessary countdown and another unnecessary podcast with Paul and Ants.
There's your sign-in. That's what we needed.
We got it. We figured it out.
I wonder if Dan Rather had to try out so many different sign-ins before he started his show. Did he start a show? I don't even know who Dan Rather is.
Did he just say it? I don't either.
I don't think anybody actually knows
who.
He's one of those names that everyone brings up, but nobody has actually seen him.
Meanwhile, millions of Dan Rather fans are not listening to this show. But
absolutely.
if they were, they would be sending us nasty letters or YouTube.
No, it would be letters. If they're Dan Rather fans, it would definitely be letters.
You think that, but Dan Rather, for all you know, could be like a 14-year-old
we could be
MTV pop star.
We're being catfished by Dan Rather. Is that what you're saying?
No, because you don't even know who he is.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That could be the online handle for
Dan Rather does sound like an old
Vine
guy,
star.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho, welcome to Innovation and Tech Talks. Once again, this is the second week in a row that you introduced the show, and then I just took over and then reintroduced it for some reason. Yeah. And I think that's, what's that word?
Some sort of power trip, I think.
A little bit. No, what's that word when
you're not satisfied with my intro? You have to take it over.
I have to give it. It's the
Yeah.
You do the soft intro, and then I.
Oh, mine's the soft intro.
Yeah.
Huh? You do the good. You do the strong, hard intro. There's nothing wrong with a soft intro.
No, I
once in a while.
I didn't say that.
Sometimes you want a soft intro instead of a hard intro.
I said nothing bad about a soft intro.
Okay.
We're cutting this out.
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're not cutting it out.
Moving right along. Now, earlier, I did say the word Sasquatch, which ties into our theme of today. Right?
We're cutting this out.
Okay, we are cutting this out.
No. Yeah.
Actually, so we're talking about conspiracy theories today.
Well, first off, I wanted to ask you something. Because when you first started working here, you mentioned that it was the first time you had ridden an elevator to work.
Yes.
And that was just amazing. That was like an amazing experience for you.
It was the last thing on my bucket list. It was the last thing I ever wanted to do. So my life's complete now.
For me, we're like our generation. I see these headlines about this hashtag that's up and coming, hashtag adulthood. Adulting has been turned into a verbed or whatever. And we're very self-conscious, I think millennials, about the fact that, we've grown up now, we've been, plunged into the scary adult world, and we're very, self-aware of it. But I don't know, if we seem like, I don't know if we really seem like grown-ups.
Well, what's funny to me is I was talking to I was at the bank the other day doing bank stuff. I think I was just getting quarters or something.
Yeah.
And making some awkward conversation with the banker, and he said something about adulting.
Yeah.
And I said, isn't it kind of weird? In the Oregon Trail days, adulting was literally probably towards the end of your life, right? They didn't use that word back then because you only lived for 30 years.
He used the word adult, I'm sure, right?
I like adulting, though.
Of course.
So when they're fixing the wagon wheel and trying not to get bitten by a snake, I'm sure they weren't man, this is adulting, right?
Right, yeah. Because there was no, you started adulting a lot earlier.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't now you're 24, 23, you better start acting your age.
I love that in those games you could have a character that was in their late 80s or early 90s.
Poor grandma.
It's
always dying on the Oregon Trail.
What is this person seen?
Why did we take grandma on the Oregon Trail?
Yeah,
we thought she could make it.
We'll send back for her when planes are invented.
Right.
In 300 years.
I mean,
I don't really know the
arrogance of taking grandma on the Oregon Trail is just baffling to me.
Yeah, well, it's just
I told you about this. I was downtown in the city that we're in that you don't know about.
Yes.
Yeah. And these women, they were full-grown women, came up to me. They were all wearing denim jackets.
Yes.
And one of them, and they could have been in their 30s, she came up to me and she said, I need you to take a picture of us. This is a stranger. I need you to take a picture of us. We're all wearing denim jackets, and we need to celebrate the moment. So please take a picture of me. And then they all, posed for the picture and did the they cried out "Yay!" or whatever. They
Yeah.
didn't cry out that. They exclaimed that.
Right.
And, and I took the picture. Great story. I know, right? But
And then, you're leaving out the part that you were filled with rage at this, right?
I was.
You were talking about this to me the other day,
Yeah.
and I could see your eyes were blood red, and you were tearing apart a phone book while you were talking about it. You were filled with so much rage. There's not phone books anymore, but
I just think that's weird. That's just a weird thing to do, like as an adult person.
Who doesn't like a nice picture taken of them? And I am one of those people that loves taking pictures of strangers. That sounded bad. I'm one of those people that, like, when somebody says, like, hey, can you take my picture? I dig doing that.
Yeah.
You do a few different poses, I like that.
I guess that's cool. I mean, I guess I'm just being, like, spiteful, a little bit. But
no, nobody would say that.
But for me, it's... I guess maybe it's just the vanity of it. I don't know. I guess I can be vain too in a way. I mean, here we are doing this like podcast. It's kind of like a vanity project. Itself,
This is my vanity project.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Something about the Instagram thing. It just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know.
I think it's because it's a visual medium.
Yeah.
And but you'd say the same thing if they were taking a selfie of all three of them. Right? Do you think? Or
no,
do you think it
because
makes it
they're
worse
like
because they were asking
absolutely
you to take a picture?
makes it worse because I have to be now an accessory to their like vanity project.
They didn't
Whereas
give
before, like they could just like go, oh, we're wearing denim jackets. #vibes. #Tuesday afternoon.
Was it Tuesday afternoon?
No, I was like.
So they're lying now.
I just think it's funny when people say Tuesday afternoon, like those, like, oh yeah, I know those Tuesday afternoon vibes. Those get me going.
Who's going around the Tuesday afternoon tag?
There is like a tag for everything now, man. It's all part. It's because every day has to have like a marketing gimmick.
We should at some point in this podcast, you have a computer I see in front of you.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we should look up just the most random tag we can think of and see if people are actually posting about it. So like Sunday at dusk.
Sunday at dusk.
Yeah.
Sunday at dusk vibes. We
vibes.
should look up the
vibe.
vibe. Yeah.
It has to have vibes in it.
Sunday at dusk vibes.
Those Sunday at dusk vibes.
Yeah, that would be great.
Which one's the dusk is the nighttime one. That's right. I don't know.
I always got
I'm
confused.
not a farmer.
When I always got confused, like when I learned the word twilight, I thought the twilight was like the dawn.
What is twilight?
I
just know
before the night. Just because, like, the vampire books.
Yeah, that's all I know of it, and that's all I need to know.
I think the Twilight books, like, I think the...
are incredible.
Well, I think the subtitles of them, like, contradict the actual title, right? Because it's, like, Twilight Breaking Dawn, which is actually not Twilight now. Like, the Twilight's gone by.
Yeah,
you can't call it Twilight anymore. You would just have to call it Breaking Dawn.
There's the missing one, Twilight, like a little after lunchtime.
Twilight, not Twilight.
Twilight, yeah.
Is Twilight even still comically relevant?
No, absolutely. We're hitting all of the great ones. Let's see. The first movie came out in 2008. No, we're still joking
That's
about.
True, yeah.
I've got some great George W. Bush jokes too.
What's the new teen craze for movies? Like tween craze, I guess.
Really, I don't think there is one right now.
Insurgent. We were talking about that.
We were talking about that. That doesn't even scratch the surface of like your Harry Potters and your Twilights, though.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not nearly as popular.
Or like even the first Hunger Games was like the last.
Actually, Hunger
really
Games.
Popular
Yeah.
One. I don't think there is one right now. And I don't really even know what the popular trend is for teens.
Right.
This is literally just two
old dudes.
Just like, what are kids doing these days?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, we were talking about the adulting thing. You know what? More and more, I remember watching this skit on Saturday Night Live when I was a kid, and I guess I thought it was funny at the time, but it's just this dude hovering around an office annoying people by giving them special nicknames. He'll see a guy named Steve, and he'll be like, Steve, the Steve Meister, making some coffee. All right, Steve. And then as an adult, you realize how real that person and like that sensibility is.
Well, first, that person is me at this office.
The Steve Meister.
I'm always just like, oh, the French guy.
Karen, making...
His last name is French. I wasn't saying...
Whose last name is French?
Can we say your last name on this?
I love how you looked at me and were like, yours. Do you not know?
Yours, right? Did you change it?
I was just trying to make sure that people had like some kind of reference.
Can we use our full names on this? My full name's on
let's absolutely not.
Every time I was I was having a conversation with somebody about that the other day. Just like, should you put your full name on the internet? I post everything with my full name all the time. And my address, last four of my social.
That's why that's why if there is some scandal that revolves around you that gets national publicity, it's horrifying. Because like people can track down all they just look for your name, they track down everything about you, everything you've ever said suddenly becomes some story. Yeah. Remember that guy who was involved in blah blah blah? Here's his blog post from when he was 11.
Yeah,
he's talking about how he's got the hots for this girl named Sabrina.
Kimberly. Hey, Sabrina was good stuff.
Sabrina's a great name. I was searching, I was probing my mind for a great name, and Sabrina, I think I landed on.
I thought you were talking about Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh wow,
which was a fantastic show.
I actually did have the hots for Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
It was a fantastic program as well.
Who do you think would win in a fight, Sabrina the Teenage Witch or Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Sabrina,
because of the magic.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Buffy fight people with magic?
No spoilers. Please. Some of us are still making our way through it.
Are you really?
Well, I wanted to watch it, but it's off Netflix now. I just discovered.
Oh no!
So yeah.
Whenever they remove Star Trek from Netflix, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Wait, I didn't know Star Trek was on Netflix.
Oh yeah, man, all of it.
Dude, I only watch Frasier. I don't have any other shows that I watch. I come home when you're not. If you can't see me in your direct line of sight, I'm watching Frasier.
You don't know who Dan Rather is. You don't know the actual definition of the word Twilight, and yet you watch Frasier.
I have an air of sophistication about me. I know.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
We're really talking about a lot of conspiracy theories today, aren't we?
That's wait, what?
I thought that was our theme.
Yeah, that is the theme. But the way you
were really taken aback by
the way you brought that in. We'll
made
talk,
a lot of sense.
I
agree.
Now we will talk about conspiracy theories.
I didn't mean to break it up or
anything.
No,
that's good. I think so. Well, I mean,
sometimes the ship is going right towards
What made us want to talk about conspiracy theories?
It's because I think originally we started talking about the moon landing.
Yeah,
you brought up something about it.
Yeah.
And I talked about how there's that theory that the flag is not flying or whatever.
Right. No, that it is waving.
But that it is waving.
And there's no wind, of course, on the moon.
Has that been proven?
Yes. There's no atmosphere.
All right. But the only people that have said that have been people that have supposedly been on the moon. Think about that. They're just like,
that is such conspiracy theorist logic.
I know.
It really is.
See, that's my big fear, that I don't want to get too into conspiracy theory, like documentaries, is I would probably believe it, and if I get too far into it, like a lot of it, I feel like I might just get too much into it,
I think there's a kind of wisdom in that.
Really?
I think there's a kind of wisdom in knowing that you don't know enough not to be convinced by something else that you know is probably false, and so you choose to avoid it. It's like
what I said was confusing. What did you just say?
Well, okay, so it's like not going into the snake oil salesman's tent because you know already that this guy's he's going to. Is shiest a bad thing to say?
We gotta edit that out.
Is shiest because I know, of course, like it is politically incorrect.
Let's just bleep it just to be sure.
He's a shyster. Is that
doesn't sound great?
Is that kind of like is that a racial slur? Is that an ethnic slur?
I don't know. Okay, let's just never say it again. Just to be sure.
He's a man of
instead of looking it up
of ill repute.
Okay. Oh, you definitely can't say that.
And it's like not going into his tent because like something shady about that guy.
Well, I'd say the shadiest thing is that his sign says snake oil salesman. I'd say that's his problem. If it said like Target on his tent.
Man, giving those poor snake oil salesmen a bad name.
I know. There's probably one legitimate snake oil salesman whose sales are plunging, and he's like, I don't know what to do.
There's one honest snake oil salesman in the world. It's a great movie.
He bought at a good time, and then
ruined by these.
He got that great kiosk in the mall that used to be in Orange Julius, and then just nobody was.
When you go to the snake oil salesman. When you go to his kiosk in the mall, like his cologne's always cheaper. I noticed than when you go to JCPenney.
That is true.
That cologne,
yes,
it's always cheaper to go to the kiosk.
He'll always stop you while you're walking, as well.
Yeah. It'll always try to straighten your wife's hair.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's always whenever my wife and I walk through the mall. There's like that guy who's very good looking. It's always a really good looking guy.
That's true.
And he's like, "Can I straighten your hair?" And he has like some Eastern European accent or something. And I'm like, "Oh my god, I would totally have my hair straightened by that guy if I were my wife."
So you just I thought you meant you were going like, "Hey, how about a little?"
Oh no, I would just be like, I would fall for that. I mean, they have a good sort of racket going on.
See, I've never run into that because I don't think I've ever been in a relationship and gone to the mall at the same time. I think they've all been.
Are you serious? You've never mall walked?
I don't think
You've never
so,
done
right?
the mall rat thing, you know? Like
I've lived a long life.
It's a teenager that's like, you know, what you do on
maybe
a
I
date.
have.
You know, it's like, well, you know what? I grew up in a small town. I shouldn't say that. I mean, I went to high school in a small town, and you know, there's absolutely nothing to do on a Saturday afternoon, and you have like a day date or whatever with your girlfriend.
Yes.
So you're like, well, we might as well just walk through the mall and look at things. Like that's all you can do.
But don't buy anything.
Don't buy anything.
Just look at things.
No, absolutely too poor to buy anything, but we can walk by.
And you kind of do the thing where you're like, oh, if you want that, I could totally get it for you. It's like a very fake offer. Actually,
I still do that.
This memory is reopening in my head. I have done that, but I think nobody approached us because we were the little goth kids from high school. So like none of those dudes would come up to us. They were like, just, let them go to
the American Eagle.
Give them a straight line to Hot Topic, and then just don't make eye contact with them.
I didn't know you were a goth kid.
I was a bit of a goth, not like super goth, but I dressed.
You're in a punk band, but like that's a little different, I guess.
I dressed pretty. It was basically these jeans, and then like those skeleton sweatshirts. I've had a lot of those.
Yeah.
But
you look like the one of the bully kids in The Simpsons. That one kid, what is his name? Sid or something.
There's Dolph, Kearney, and Jimbo. Jimbo.
Jimbo
was the one.
That's a great. Yeah, I love that kid. Jimbo's a great name.
Jimbo is a great name. That's what it's a family name for me.
Jim,
so I have
the Jimbo, the Gymmeister.
Do we have anybody here?
Stapling some copies.
We don't have anybody here named Jim.
No, I don't think so.
Too bad.
That's a great name for a book. Do we have anybody here named Jim?
Can you spare a Jim? That is a great book title.
But anyway, conspiracy theories.
Yes. So the mall conspiracy theory. My personal favorite conspiracy theory is, well, actually, it's one that it was told to me last night by my girlfriend. That's I don't remember his exact name. It's Louis Tomlinson. Who's the dude from One Direction? Oh,
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong guy.
There is a conspiracy theory that his baby is fake because it looks like it's made of plastic.
Oh my god!
Every picture.
So why? What's his motive? There's always a motive, right?
I guess that like
they say follow the money.
I bet
obviously he has a fake baby.
Maybe like he accidentally picked one up. It got like mixed with one of those training babies at the hospital, and he was too embarrassed because he had it for a few weeks without noticing, and he was too embarrassed, so he's just running with it. Moving on.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's my theory.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't even know what. Like before you have a theory on it, I don't even know what the evidence really.
Yeah, neither do I. I just literally heard that, and then I'm running with it now.
Okay, so that's how conspiracy theorists spread.
That is how. So now, whoever's listening to this, that's going to start into another rumor, and then before you know it.
Well, I mean, like in all fairness, we're joking around here, but there's a real danger to those like conspiracy theories, and like the problem really stems from people not knowing where to look for verifiable information, and people just not understanding how information gets verifiable in the first place, like where it becomes like where how sources become credible. They don't understand how peer review works. They don't understand how the critical review process. So they'll distrust anything from any like traditional media source because someone and it's just some lone guy making YouTube channels YouTube videos says don't trust the traditional media. And so that's an umbrella statement. They're just like, okay, you can't trust those people.
Well, yeah, there is a market for it because there is a lot of people that don't trust that traditional media. So there is just a market for it, and then that does become it's very interesting that way. It makes this interesting fragment of and YouTube and those kind of things have really given a platform to a lot of kind of those non-traditional theorists. It's interesting.
I was teaching at a community college for a while, and so many of my students believed in the existence of the Illuminati, you know, and would write papers about it. And, you know, I asked one of them, you know, so prove to me that, you know, the Illuminati exists. We're like, oh, well, like, you need to check out this YouTube video. And I watched it. It's just it's just this guy talking into him. It's like this. It's like a podcast where we're just like joking around. We're just messing around. Yeah. But this guy is changing somebody's worldview while he's like just messing around and, you know, shooting the breeze. You know, and there's no fact checking. There's no like legitimacy. You know, it's just like Beyonce and Jay-Z control the way the world turns.
There might be some truth to that. Let's be honest here. But
yeah, I mean, she, you know, and when I showed this like student, you know, basically just like took her through the video and went like, okay, well, like, you know, this is a contradiction. I mean, it's just basic logic problems, you know, throughout the video.
Right.
She's like, oh, okay, you know, and so like in a second, like the beliefs were dispelled, you know, just from like some brief explanation.
Right.
Like, but they were there, you know, for a while.
Didn't you say that 3 members of the Illuminati slashed your tires that night though?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a little something to talk. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the Illuminati is. I've heard the jokes and I know the dollar bill.
Well, that's the point.
That's pretty much
You're
it.
not supposed to know who the Illuminati is, unless you get woke, as the kids say.
I have not been. So is that the Matrix thing?
That's what they say.
Getting woke.
So you need to get woke.
Once again, we sound like two.
No, I mean, I don't. I think that if you're talking about pop culture, even if you're young, if you're old, whatever, you're always going to sound like you're out of your element because there's just so much stuff out there.
That's true.
Unless you are unless you're like in the movement, if you're kind of just like talking about like things that you've heard about or things that you've seen, you know, you're always going to be out of your element because there's just too much stuff out there.
Absolutely.
I mean, well, I was going to say like Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about some of his students, even some of his students believed in these like the fake moon landings.
Yeah.
And he told one of them, "You bring to me your strongest piece of evidence, and you also tell me what could I prove to you that would make you change your position, right? What could I show you? What kind of evidence would make you change your mind about this?" And so the student told him, well, if you have pictures of the lunar landing site, I will change my mind.
Right.
So, you know, Tyson shows him the pictures of the site, and the student immediately says, well, those are fake. And then Tyson says, well, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do at that point when someone, requests that you give them the proof, and then once you deliver the exact proof that they were looking for immediately, they deny it. There's nothing you can do.
But did he ask Neil deGrasse Tyson whether there was wind on the moon?
He didn't.
See, that was a missed opportunity.
I like to invent. I think that I watch those YouTube videos with their millions of views, and I think that I could get into that business, kind of like the snake oil salesman business.
Making the moon landing was fake.
I even have a favorite that I have a favorite piece of BS that I just know it sounds like a ridiculous conspiracy theory.
Right.
I want to make this video. Are you ready for this?
Yes, of course.
So my conspiracy theory, and by the way, folks, I'm just joking around here. Maybe.
Quick disclaimer.
Please do not believe this.
They're gonna, this clip is gonna be posted, on Reuters in a few days, just with no context.
Right. This one audio snippet, but okay. So Mount Everest.
Yes, I know.
You know what that is, right? You've been told by the media what Mount Everest is.
Yes.
At the top of Mount Everest, there are no harsh conditions up there. In fact, a lot of people have reached the summit of Mount Everest. Do you know anybody, by the way, who has reached the summit of Mount Everest?
I have not. You've got me there.
Well, at the top of Mount Everest is a special Illuminati headquarters meant only for the rich and the powerful. It's actually very comfortable up there. It's very easy to get up to the top of Mount Everest. By the way, it's not that difficult. All those documentaries are fake. Do you think, first off, follow the money. How much money does it take to climb Mount Everest? Can anyone do it? Just millionaires, right? People with lots of money. Because for the Sherpas alone, members of the Illuminati themselves, they have to be paid tens of thousands of dollars. The equipment costs tens of thousands of dollars. The expeditions can run upwards of like $100,000. And it's all a barrier to entry to secure a weekend away at the Illuminati headquarters.
So it's like a final trial.
That's right.
Before you get into... Interesting.
Yes,
okay.
the Everest is actually Mount Olympia, really, for the Illuminati. Yeah.
Wow.
They get up there. By the way, shape of Mount Everest?
$sign? I don't...
Triangle. It's the ultimate triangle.
We're talking.
This is the Illuminati capital, Mount Everest.
See, here's the problem. I know this is a joke. You're saying it so convincingly that there is kind of a, okay, I want to hear more.
You think it's easy. It's easy to get up there.
If you talk with some brevity, is that word that I keep using wrong?
No.
Is
Twilight is. Twilight's the one you keep using wrong.
I don't think it is.
I think it is because we can go back in this recording and look.
We don't need to do that. It's already been cut out of this episode. That's interesting though. I would like to just as a not a prank, but as like an experiment, just see if you can kind of make it like seem really convincing and totally make up a theory and see if people get
That'd be great.
Yeah. Or it would be just total lie.
We could make knowing that very few people so far listen to this podcast.
Yes.
We could make this YouTube video, and then if it catches on, we could always at some point refer people back to this original podcast.
Yes.
And be like, look what you fell for.
Right.
You fell for the old Everest as the Illuminati headquarters spiel.
Again? Isn't there's some theory that two celebrities are the same person? Have you ever heard that one?
Yeah, I think so. I think there are a couple where that's the case.
Those.
Yeah, I don't know one off the top of my head.
Those are my favorite kind of.
Like dead celebrities are now like living other celebrities.
I think those are fascinating.
Yeah.
Because actually, Amy Winehouse has not had those rumors. That's the one like major celebrity death of the. I'm sorry.
I feel like there are others probably.
What do you mean?
They're like where they're dead and there's like no conspiracy theory about them. They're just
I meant just in terms of like large, like unexpected. So like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have said that. Elvis, obviously. Who are the other ones that everyone says?
Who are the other dead celebrities?
Who are the other dead? Go on Wikipedia and.
Oh my god, that's a great band name. Dead Celebrities.
I'm sure that's been taken,
that's
right?
Definitely been taken. That's a great punk name.
It's the problem of the internet era. I remember when I first got my band together in like 2006, and I kept trying to think of the perfect band name, and you'd go on MySpace and you'd be like, "Oh, okay, I've got it. This," and you'd look it up.
Yeah.
Like 3 bands have it.
Yep.
That was like the directory to find out.
That's funny because it definitely was MySpace too.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
It was always like every band had a MySpace page. Do bands have Facebook pages? I don't think they do, right?
No,
really?
Mine does.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It seemed like it was more of a MySpace page thing because like you could play the music like immediately.
Yeah.
It was so annoying. That was like one of the most annoying things about MySpace.
Nobody actually, because you would always connect a song to your profile.
Right.
But nobody would ever listen to the song that anybody else had on their profile, right? You would just rush for that pause button and then just really quickly pause it. They're like, okay, now let me.
Now I can scroll through.
Now I can scroll through and get. And
did you have to have a song? I didn't have a MySpace page. Did you have to have a song on it, or was it?
I don't think you had to, but it was like, go for it. And you add it to your profile. So
if you had to have a song on it, I would do the Simpsons thing where you have like the made up C sounds like.
Well, Yeah. Okay.
That was a really good foghorn.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm like that guy from Police Academy that can just do like windshield wipers.
Yeah. What's that guy's name? Michael something.
Not very good.
Yeah.
Michael
Smith.
I'm gonna say
we got it.
Anywho,
Michael No, not Winslow. It's something like that though. Oh wait, is it? It's something like I don't know.
I'm gonna say I do not know.
Gone. But yeah. Other conspiracy so I mean we have to talk about the flat earther thing because that's
I think that one is pretty interesting as well. Not in a way that I like believe it, but I just think it's interesting
that it exists.
And it's well known enough. Like celebrities believe it, right?
Tila Tequila, if she's a celebrity,
Tila Tequila believes it.
Yeah, it's like she's like one of the most outspoken advocates for the movement, if you want to call it that.
Is it Tila or Tia? Most important. There's my conspiracy theory. Is it Tila Tequila or Tia Tequila?
It's Tila Tequila.
Okay.
Is it though?
The Illuminati changed her name, apparently.
Was that the not the what is it called? This other conspiracy theory that exists. Heisenberg's something like that. I can't remember what it is.
Revenge.
Oh my God! But there's that. So you know the Berenstain Bears?
Of course. Oh, the alternate universe thing.
Yes, the alternate universe thing.
That one does fascinate me because some people say, because I'm one of those people that swore growing up that it was Stein Bears.
Yeah, right.
The
Berenstain Bears.
But now they're all AIN Berenstain Bears.
See, you're already the way you're describing it. Like you've already fallen for this thing. You already like believe in.
What do you mean fallen for? Am I wrong?
You're being read those books when you can't even read. Really?
How dare you?
So how are you going to remember like the exact way it was spelled?
How dare you question my literacy?
You're like 4 or 5 year old literacy.
I read those when I was 17. Thank you. I didn't read Catcher in the Rye as a teenager. I read the Berenstain Bears.
Right.
And then we went through this alternate.
I was more of a Babar guy myself.
I always forget about Babar.
Yeah.
And Babar was he's the classic. It's better to burn out than fade away, because I feel like he was popular for a little bit and then you never heard from him again. He's like Johnny Rotten.
Who's Johnny Rotten?
You don't know Johnny Rotten? The Sex Pistols.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I said, oh yeah, like I knew who that was, but obviously I just messed up.
We'll just keep playing.
I never knew.
We'll just keep playing along.
I did.
I'm
not one of those guys who like knows the names of band members.
Really?
No, I'm not.
You can't name anyone from Led Zeppelin.
Robert Plant was part of Led Zeppelin,
yes.
Right? Okay. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Beatles.
I can name them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to get.
I can name them. Give me another band.
Cher.
Okay, I don't have anyone there.
You don't know any members of Cher?
No members of Cher.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Ramones.
Nope.
All of their last names were Ramon. Most of the work is done.
Oh, is it really?
Well, not technically. They had like names, and they all changed their last name to Ramon. They're not actually related.
Remember Ramona the Pest?
No.
You didn't read those?
No,
they're like
no.
They're like kids' books.
See, I thought it was Ramone the Pest, but then the alternate universe changed it around.
Well, I'm a part of the old universe.
So
it was like
what is that actual theory, though? Because all I know is the basics of it, which is everyone remembers it as EIN, but now it's AIN.
Yeah.
Now we're like realizing it's AIN.
Right.
So some people think it's an alternate universe thing, right?
Yeah, if I'm right, like the theory is that at some point our universe merged with a parallel universe, wherein the spelling of Berenstain Bears was different, and we have these residual memories of the old universe that we were a part of, like the old reality, and those conflict with the new one.
My favorite part of this theory is that everything else is exactly the same, but the one thing that changes is one letter of one children's book, not anything else.
Yeah,
we're not like wearing shoes on our hands,
right,
or anything like that.
It was a very parallel universe.
Yeah, it was
very parallel.
No kidding. You're just like, man, that's the only difference.
You know, if like that brings up an interesting point. Like, if you can believe that, I guess the credibility there is that so many people believe that they remember it. They remember it as EIN,
right?
But you know, that's a slippery slope. I think just to, I have nightmares. I remember certain images. These are part of some parallel universe or a previous life or something like that.
The other night, I was just I woke up in a cold sweat, just saying Berenstain, Berenstain, and then
let it go. Let it go.
That's my rosebud, Berenstain.
Your favorite memory? Mine's Babar. Like when I die and drop my snow globe, it's gonna be Babar.
I thought he threw the snow globe.
No, he dropped. I think he dies and it falls out of his hand.
I've never seen Citizen Kane.
I actually haven't either.
I thought it was called Rosebud.
You know,
for the longest
it's
time,
so
too.
hard to find the movie. That's
Really?
a problem with like Netflix and all these streaming services. They don't have that many classic films on them.
Well, I think with like Google Play and all those kind of things, you can like just rent basically whatever you want. You have a large.
You never have it. It's not like you're going to see like the DVD for Citizen Kane at the
It's
Walgreens. I've actually I've gone to video stores and looked for the DVD for Citizen Kane, and you can't find it.
You know what we were talking about the other day? The one DVD you will always find at a department store, and it is always extremely cheap. Austin Powers.
Yeah, that's true.
It's available everywhere, and it's like $3.
That's true. Why is that?
I don't know.
I know that Night of the Living Dead is
Yes.
immediately available everywhere because of those copyright issues. They messed up with their copyright application or something like that, and it's
Right.
like public. The movie itself is public domain.
Yeah. Well, that's why they did a remake so quickly. There's the black and white one.
Yes.
And then there was one like in full color, like 10 years, not even after that.
Right.
I like that movie.
They made that. They also made that remake of Psycho. It's very similar, shot-for-shot remake.
Oh, the Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, Vince
one?
Vaughn. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I never actually saw that one.
It's really bad. Well, you know, it's really funny because it's shot for shot. Even the angles, I think, are like completely replicated from
Right.
the original. But the acting is just off. It's wrong. It
but
feels
yeah,
weird.
if there was a shot-for-shot remake of Titanic and it was me as every role, it would not be very good still.
Well, I think it's also like I think the old school acting, like
Right.
it gels with the black and because there's a certain stiltedness to it.
Right.
Like not hammy, but I guess I want to say it's more theatrical. I don't know how to put it, but like if you put a movie like that in color, like and you take the fuzz away, the graininess of it, like it just seems weird. Like like for instance, so let me tell you, like the Mist. The Mist?
No.
That horror movie?
You mean The Fog?
No, The Mist.
Okay.
The Mist is
Are they in the same universe of gas-related monsters?
Fog isn't a gas, dude.
A fog is a gas, right?
Fog is not Mist isn't a gas.
Oh, you're
either.
right. It's a solid.
It's liquid.
No, that's got to be a gas.
Oh, it's precipitation.
It's all gassy, though. Right?
This podcast should just be called like Two Idiots.
Two idiots trying to bring things up and talk over each other.
Yes. Oh, that's great. Oh, Two Idiots. Oh, that's the name of the episode. That's
Two
really
idiots.
good. Oh my God, Two Idiots trying to talk over each other. Great
Yes.
name for a podcast.
That's perfect.
That's an honest podcast.
Actually,
right
though,
there.
straight up on that MySpace level, I'm sure that's taken.
No.
I'm sure if you look that up right now, it's taken.
I'm not going to look it up, but I bet it is taken. Maybe it is.
Okay.
What were we talking about? The Mist? The Fog?
The Fog.
No, wait.
Fog
No,
is a
stop
gas.
it. You're doing a Bugs Bunny thing on me. We're doing The Mist. Starting The Mist. It was a horror movie, but anyway, like the guy wanted it shot in, he wanted it to be black and white.
Yeah.
And so he made it all like kind of cheesy, the special effects are not that great. It's a great movie, by the way. It's really good. It's based on a Stephen King short story, I think. And he wanted it to be black and white, but of course, like the studio, the producers, they didn't think that would sell well, with the audience and everything. So they put it in color, and you can tell like why he wanted it black and white because there's like a kind of throwback sort of 50s monster movie thing going on there.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting that they did the exact same thing with the 2010 film Marmaduke, where it was originally filmed in black and white, and then some of the higher ups didn't really like that, so it could have been easy 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, but unfortunately not.
Marley and Me.
Marley and Me.
Also black
I
and
never
white.
saw that
Tragic
because I
story.
know the ending.
Well, you know the ending of every dog movie, right? The dog dies.
Well, because there's that website. Have you heard of that? DoesTheDogDie.com.
Oh my God, really?
You look up any film, and it has like levels. So one is like there's a dog in it, but it lives happily. There's one that's like there's a dog, but like we don't know what happens to it. And there's one that's just it lets you know if a dog dies.
So
And
if I put
something major for me, I remember.
If I put in Schindler's List,
Oh my god!
it's gonna be like a dog doesn't die, good to go,
Oh, oh my god!
and the phone's ringing.
Suppose so. I assume this part will be cut out anyways.
No, I was gonna answer. I was gonna be like, Yes, it's like Steven Spielberg.
Right. Spielberg just like suing you. What was I going to talk about? We did not talk about conspiracy.
Did they so every movie is on that site?
I assume every major
2001: A Space Odyssey. I can look it up. It's like there's no dog in there.
I will look it up right now. I know you don't like looking
Breaking
up
the
during
rules, but okay.
During the do we don't have to.
Oh, it's okay. Go for it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Rules are meant to be broken.
But entertain. Talk to the fine people for a moment while I look this up.
Yeah, seriously, this is why you don't do it.
This is true. Okay, I won't look it up.
Yeah.
This is one of those cliffhangers we'll leave for next time. What was the one last time?
Okay, so there's the Frankie Muniz and Cher thing.
How did Lindsay Lohan lose a finger?
Oh my God! Wait, what?
How did Lindsay Lohan?
That's what. I can't even remember us talking about that. How did Lindsay Lohan lose a finger?
And I accidentally spoiled it at the end of the last one.
Did you?
As well. Yeah, but
I actually can't even remember.
Okay.
Yeah, what was it?
I'll give you
Did I make some Jaws joke? Because it seems like I would be like it was a boating accident, and I would be like,
I don't remember that
accident.
Now, was it A, a boating accident, B, a car accident, or C, a woodworking accident?
Oh my God, I have to go with woodworking accident.
Woodworking accident. You are incorrect, my friend. It was A. It was boating accident.
No way.
Yeah.
This was no boating accident. I just love that line.
I think that's exactly what the...
It's unfortunate because if someone truly did suffer from a boating accident, like our dear Miss Lohan.
Is she married?
I don't think so.
I'm not totally sure.
Senorita Lohan?
I'm not totally sure, actually.
Senorita Tequila?
I
the
guess
Tila Tequila?
Miss Tequila?
Is it Mrs. Tequila?
Is that her? What is her real name?
Tila Tequila. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. There's no way that's what it is.
That's one of those people with really cool names. You look up their real name, and it's usually so much less cool, but once in a while, they have like just as cool of a regular name. And it's kind of like, well, now you're just cheating,
right?
Pretty much,
right?
It's basically using steroids when you're already like in great shape.
I googled my name once because I'm a vain and terrible person. I'm sure, and Isaac Asimov, the sci-fi writer, actually used my name as a pseudonym while writing. I think it was teen novels, like teen adventure stories or something like that. Paul French was one of his sobriquets.
Really?
So yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm nobody. I've got nothing.
You've never Googled your own name?
Never.
Really?
No, yeah, of course I have.
Yeah.
There is a bodybuilder that has a very similar name to me. And
so you're like famous.
He's a little bit buffer than I am. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As you can see. So
I can't see what he looks like. But like, what is he? He's a really buff guy though. He's like a.
Well, he's not like if he's a bodybuilder, he's not going to be,
I guess that's true.
Like not buff.
Well, there's a scale to that, right? So there's like the spectrum is like buff regular dude who's like, I guess non-steroid bodybuilder guy. And then there's like Ronnie Coleman or something like that where they're on the Muscle magazine covers and they just look they just don't look. They look monstrous, I guess.
I don't want to say anything bad because.
Are you? We're not body.
Somebody could. Yeah, but they could easily destroy me.
Body shaming bodybuilders.
The person with the name similar to mine could easily just do that Bane thing and just break me in half really quickly.
Power here.
Exactly. That's what. I would always do that if I was strong though. I would always talk like
you would kill people.
No. You would murder people? I would just walk around talking like Bane, pretty much.
Anthony Elio, dictator in the making. If I had the power, I'd press the button.
That's another thing that people are going to take out of context. I don't like that.
That's a great business card line. If I had the power, I'd press the button.
I'd press the Lord. That's actually not bad, though.
There have been days where I've said that.
Yeah?
I'd be like, it's always in the car.
Oh, yeah. That's
like, I would press that button right now if someone put it in front of me.
That seems more like something like an angry dad would say while he's driving and the kids are fighting in the back. Just like, if I had the power.
If I had the power, I'd press the button. I'd Charlton Heston the crap out of this world.
Heston, I like using that as a verb.
Yeah, well, have you never seen the second Planet of the Apes movie from the original series?
No.
How dare you?
In a word, no.
Yeah. So you've seen the original Planet of the Apes, right?
seen most of it.
Okay.
I mostly know the plot from the musical version in the episode of The Simpsons.
Right.
A fish named Selma.
Really not
named Dr. Zaius.
not much of a difference between those two things. But anyway, in the second Planet of the Apes movie, I think it's called World of the Planet of the Apes. I don't know.
Son of the Planet of the
I don't know
Apes.
what it's called. But Charlton Heston's character encounters an underground society of superhumans.
Naturally.
And these superhumans have telepathic powers.
Okay.
And they all worship a giant golden super weapon in a church.
Okay. All right.
I'm not kidding.
You reeled me in.
Yeah. It's actually way more boring than it sounds.
Really? Because
yes.
you set it up pretty well.
I know. It was a pretty good synopsis.
It's a little bit more Caddyshack 2-esque.
At the end, Charlton Heston, there's like a fight between the apes and the superhumans. You think the superhumans would just straight up win that one with their telepathic powers.
They've got super in their name.
I don't understand it. I can't remember what happens. But anyway, they're getting shot, and Charlton Heston, I think, gets wounded.
Okay.
He's confronted by Dr. Zaius, his nemesis, I believe. And he decides to press the button to the Doomsday launch thing, and he destroys the Earth. And Orson Welles comes on as a voiceover. I'm not kidding. This happens.
Is this another conspiracy theory?
No. This is. If I misremembered this, then we truly are like in a
we're gonna get sued.
Universe like.
Then we are what?
We're in a parallel universe.
Parallel, okay.
So but anyway, Orson Welles comes over and is like, us in the vast universe, one insignificant blue speck ceases to be, and then the movie ends.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I've got an even better ending for you.
Yeah.
Do you remember the TV show Dinosaurs? With the I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was like Dom DeLuise, I think was the voice.
I saw.
They were all like suburban.
Dinosaurs. The plaid. Where he would wear those plaid red shirts. Yeah.
It ended with the most bleak episode ever. Basically, because the main dude makes like a mistake, and then there's some nuclear disaster.
What? Nuclear?
It ends with a nuclear winter starting and them depressingly looking out the window as snow begins to fall and realizing that the world is going to end.
What?
That happy family show.
Oh my god. Wait, why? So why was there even nuclear, did he work at a power plant like Homer Simpson?
I think it was almost like that. If I remember right.
I thought you were going to say that one of the dinosaur kids goes outside and he's like, look, Mom, what's that? Right. And it's like a meteor or something, and then the just credits roll.
They definitely did not go the obvious route on that one.
That's not the obvious route, of course. That's a very bleak ending as well.
The obvious bleak route.
They should do the obvious bleak route with Land Before Time. Did
they ever end those movies?
I think they're still going. I think it's still going strong.
They do have to kind of end at some point.
No, see, Littlefoot's family, they're in the Jurassic period maybe, so they don't have to. They don't have to face the
what
ending.
Period did the...
late Cretaceous, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I know the Jurassic one.
Well, there's also conspiracy theories about that, too.
That's for a different episode. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before we go, I do have one more great
I love how you're the one that wraps this up every time. I love how you're like...
I'm just very tired today. One more weird ending to a TV show.
Yeah.
You remember Roseanne?
Starring
Roseanne?
Yeah. I mean, I never watched it, actually.
So the final season, so it's like a pretty general sitcom. She's married to John Goodman.
Right.
Like every other sitcom.
Yeah.
The very final season, the family wins the lottery and move into a mansion, and they're basically rich the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
The series finale, you find out it was a dream, and her husband died years ago.
Oh my god.
And yeah, that was all just a dream, pretty much.
That's great.
So, yeah.
That's really good.
Well, we've had a great time here today, folks.
Yeah.
On that note.
Tune in next time.
See, that should have been the cliffhanger.
What?
That should have been the,
What happened to Roseanne?
What happened to Roseanne?
I feel like that cliffhanger's been done before.
Has it?
By Roseanne.
It's like, how is Roseanne going to get out of this one? find out. Same Roseanne place, same Roseanne time.
Okay. All right.
I'm doing the George Costanza. I'm out.
It's out.
All
All right. We're out.
Bye.
Bye.